I had been asked to think about Dracula for the Opera House some years ago, and read the novel and was utterly flummoxed by what to do with the title character. And I thought, maybe this is actually not about the vampire. Maybe it's about the repression of the title characters. And I was at about that point in thinking about the piece and was talking to Bill Hoffman, who was the only other member of the John Corigliano Opera Librettist Club. And he said, how is Dracula coming? And I said, not well, but I have this thought about that. And he said, well, you're writing the Bacchae, you're writing the Euripides Bacchae. Did you know that? And I thought, actually, if you restore the Euripides template, if you essentially tell the story of the Bacchae with the characters of Dracula, that because the Victorian England of Dracula is more familiar, I think, to a contemporary American audience than the Thebes of Euripides is, it brings the themes of the play closer to us even than the original does. This had been something that I was going to compose the score for as well as the libretto. And I remember the day before I was submitting it to the company I was talking to, saying to John, I really think I'm onto something here dramatically, but musically I'm going to have to do somersaults, not to do a fake Corigliano score, because this has got you all over it. Everything you do well is what this piece needs.
My music, basically, in opera is based upon the need for fantasy. I don't really find it possible to think of opera in the realistic terms that many composers do. For me, the whole idea of opera is the idea of the fantastic and then the real and the fantastic playing a little dance with each other. And luckily, with Mark's idea of wedding the Bacchae to the Dracula legend, we deal with the world of the gods, this incredible, huge, unbelievably unexpected world of the immortals, the gods, and then the world of Victorian London.
Euripides specified in the original play that the god Dionysus had this rather androgynous allure, because part of what he represents is the slippage of boundaries. The fact that you can try to put things into categories, but human nature will keep stubbornly eluding those categories.
The whole point of Dionysus is he could be either male, female, he was licentious, he was this, he could be sly, and then he could be incredibly savage. We felt that Dracula needed to have an androgynous, unearthly sound. And of course, to me, that was the countertenor.
I've been a huge fan of his music and never felt like I got to sing it in such a meaty and incredibly cathartic way as this piece allows. The character of Dracula is a very complex character. In many ways, he's vulnerable. In many ways, he's inhuman. And in other ways, of course, he's incredibly violent and has these moments of rage. And as a countertenor, the otherworldliness is kind of built in. But what you can't take for granted is that fearsome quality.
Until you sit in an audience and you feel the people reacting to your opera, you really never know what the thrill is of writing for opera. I very much look forward to being able to sit in Santa Fe and hear it with the audience.
John is one of the great living composers, and to be able to be a part of this premiere at one of America's greatest opera companies is something that's truly thrilling.